Welcome to the Dice Tower, a series of video reviews about board and card games. Here are your hosts, Tom Vasel and Sam Healey.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, hello.
Samuel Healey, hello.
Today we're taking a look at Bloodborne, the card game. Now, Bloodborne, the card game is based on a video game that I have not played. Have you?
I have not played that one, but I've played Dark Souls.
Okay, so Dark Souls was the first in the series, right?
Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, yes.
All right, and this is a game, is it like a first-person shooter type thing?
No, it's a third-person, super difficult, hack and slash, RPG-ish kind of game.
Okay.
I've watched it played, I've never played it myself.
From what I understand, it's a very dark game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always saying that because the artwork in this game seems like I would not want to meet any of these people or things.
Correct.
And even
Nor would I
like
want to
noon.
be alive at this point in time.
yes, yes.
Okay, but we're looking at it basically from a board game perspective, especially since this board game was designed by Eric Lang. Eric Lang is, well, he's my favorite designer. So I figured that I would probably like the game, and but I didn't know what to expect, so we played it, and here's how it goes. Now in Bloodborne, you're going to get points as the game goes by. You're going to get these points in blood echoes. These are what you're going to get for basically killing bad guys. And you're going to put these here, and at different points during the course of the game, you're going to be able to bank these down here, which means they're safe and you won't lose them when they're down there. However, you will also get points if they're up here at the end of the game. So you're going to get points for each one you have. So maybe I have 5 down here, 3 up here, that's 8 points. I'm also going to get points based on how far I'm on each of these different tracks. So whatever number each of these tokens is on is how many points I'm going to get. And the most points is the winner of the game. Now you're going to be fighting a final boss, which you're going to choose. There are several horrific looking final bosses, and each of them has kind of a special ability that affects the whole game. They have a certain number of hit points it takes to kill them. And if you beat them, you're going to get to move on to different tracks. But most of the time, you're going to be fighting regular monsters. So there's all sorts of regular monsters. You're going to make a deck of these monsters to fight. And in these monsters, you're going to be fighting regular monsters like this man-eating boar or this Garden of Eyes. And occasionally, there will be like mini bosses in here, like the Witch of Hemwick. They actually say boss in the bottom. I have a pre-copy without the word boss, but if you get it now, it says the word boss here. So these are going to come out, and each time there's an enemy to fight, the game is going to take the same route. The first thing, players are going to look at a handful of action cards that they have. Now, each player is going to start with the same 5 starting cards: a Saw, Cleaver, Hunter Axe, Hunter Pistol, Hunter's Dream, and Transform. And they're going to pick one of these cards and play it. Now, once you play a card, it's going to stay played until you get your cards back into your hand, and there's 2 ways that can happen. When players play cards, they're going to all be playing them simultaneously, and then they're going to turn them over and reveal them. If you play the Transform card, you basically get to, after seeing what everyone else has played, you're going to then put out one of your melee weapons or one of your ranged weapons to replace it. And then if anyone has an instant effect, for example, this Hunter Pistol says, if you're the only person to play a Hunter Pistol, inflict damage immediately instead of the Hunter's attack. So if this Man-Eater Boar came out, and this Man-Eater Boar does not have a lot of health, okay, you can see it has 3 health. But if I played a Hunter's Pistol, boom, I'm going to take one of those blood echoes and immediately stick it up here. So these instant effects can take place, and if multiple people have instant effects, they go around from the starting player. After that, the monster is going to attack. Now each player is going to have a health dial that they're going to be starting with 8 health, and the monster will attack everybody. And so you're going to roll a die that the monster tells you. This one here, for example, tells you to roll the red die. Each die some dice are harder than others. The red die is probably the worst. You roll it, and that's how much damage the monster does to everybody. If you roll a side that has a star, the monster will do that much damage, and you roll again, and again, and again, and again. 9 damage. Everyone's dead. And that doesn't happen very often, but it can. So you're never quite sure what the monster is going to do to different people. If a character is dead, then any of these blood echoes that they haven't banked are lost. And they get to take all their cards that they've played so far. Well, actually, they don't get to take them back in their hand. They stay out, but they're going to get a new card from over here. Another way to get a new card is also to play the Hunter's Dream. When you play the Hunter's Dream, you will take half damage from the enemy if you survive that round. Then you get all your action cards. You'll pick them back up in your hand, and you get to choose a new action card. Now, these new action cards are much better. While your normal melee cards will do 1 or 2 to the bad guy, we have here the Kirkhammer that does 4, or the Threaded Cane that does 2. And if there's not enough hit points on it, you can take them from the bank. Ludwig's Rifle, which does 2 to the monster before anyone else, if you're the only person to play it. The Molotov Cocktail, which does 1 damage to all hunters, including you and the monster. So you're kind of like throwing a bomb here. Here you can ignore all damage inflicted on your hunter this round if you used a repeating pistol. The cannon here does 2 to the monster and 1 to everyone else. The Beast Claw does 2, and you get to go in a Hunter's Dream. The Bolt Paper is the combined damage of all your used melee weapons. So all the melee weapons that you have in front of you, if you haven't picked them up, make your Bolt Paper that much better. The Saw Spear, which is 2 plus 1 for each point of damage your hunter takes this round. So that's what players are going to be getting these cards, and you have a limit of cards in your hand, and if you go over that limit, you can discard down. You're just never allowed to get rid of Hunter's Dream because that's the card you need to get these cards back into your hand. So after players have all taken damage from the monster, anyone who has played cards is going to hit the monster with their weapons, and that goes clockwise. And so once the monster is completely defeated, it's gone, and if you still have a weapon and it hasn't been your turn yet, well, too bad. Anyone who has inflicted any damage on a monster that round is going to get a trophy of that monster's type. So this monster here shows the hand trophy, so everyone would go up 1 who did any damage to the man-eater boar. And sometimes the boss monsters will have 2 of those that they'll go up on the track. There's also special abilities they might have, like each hunter that helps kill this claims an additional trophy of any type. Or here, any weapon card that inflicts damage to this is removed from the game at the end of the round. Ooh, do I want to hit him? Because my weapon I use is going to be out of the game. And so there's all sorts of different bad guys that you will fight. Now, if you fight a normal bad guy, like for example this Garden of Eyes, and you don't defeat it, it runs away. It's gone. If you're fighting one of the mini bosses, like this Martyr Logarius here, then they will stay in the round, and you'll keep going to eventually do 13 damage and kill it. And only on the killing round does anyone get any of these trophies. This will continue until you've gone through the whole monster pile. You just keep taking turns, and eventually you get to the big main boss. You fight him, and then after you've defeated the main boss eventually, you will add together all these, plus all your blood echoes, both banked and unbanked, and whoever has the most points wins the game. So, Bloodborne, the card game here, is a very interesting experience. It starts out, and the theme is co-op in nature, right? It's like, hey, we're all killing monsters together, and let's do this, guys. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to actually. Oh,
nice job, dude.
Now I know how Z feels.
There you go.
Okay. So it ruined my point there, but I feel like that's going to end up in a blooper reel.
Yes.
So anyhow,
Staying in this review, what are you talking about?
so anyhow,
Thanks, Eric.
you hit the people next to you and you go. I mean, this is not a friendly game at all.
No.
I don't even think it's
not the people
I don't
next
think it's
to you.
co-op at all,
No,
really.
not co-op. I'm saying the theme is. I always talk about the themes being co-op. Like, hey, we're all going out to hunt monsters together. Oh, did I blow your feet off along the way? It has that. It's that theming that's
Right,
co-op.
okay,
The game is not
okay.
co-op at all.
Right, okay, fine.
Cutthroat Caverns feel. I think that's the closest, for me at least, the closest connection.
Easily.
Feels very much like a Cutthroat Caverns, where you're all trying to beat the monsters. That's how you end the game, but along the way, if
You wanna be the one that kills
other
the thing.
people die, you want to be the guy that does the final blow.
Yeah.
And
right.
unfortunately for me, and I love Cutthroat Caverns, one of my favorite games, this game completely replaces Cutthroat Caverns, because as cool as Cutthroat Caverns is, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is 30 minutes. And I like that. Well,
30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little longer
let
than
me
that.
get to that. There are, I guess I should mention that, those final bosses that I showed you, there are 2 of them that I will never play with. Like, I mean, rip up and throw in the garbage. Never play with.
Because they only prolong the game.
One prolongs the game because he keeps bringing out more monsters.
Yep.
The other says if you have been killed twice, you are out of the game. I I cannot fathom who thought that was a good idea.
Probably Eric.
That's Eric. That was a bad idea. It really was. I mean, player elimination is usually not a good thing. Player elimination in this game, the chance of you dying twice is pretty high.
Very high.
And if you're playing with certain groups, inevitable.
Yes.
That you're going to die twice. Anyway, so you just have to play with those. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No.
Or you could even play with those characters and
How
just
many
ignore
are
that.
left, though, if you remove 2?
Like 4? There's like only 6.
Yeah, that's not that good. That's like, you're telling me 1/3 of the final bosses are not worth playing with.
Yes, but I've played the game many times, and I'd say like 4 times I played with the same final boss because I'm teaching it to new people,
Yeah.
and I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's the gameplay itself. They could
guess.
have one final boss, and I would have been content.
I'm actually less on the boat of the whole player elimination thing. I wouldn't mind playing with that one.
You would flip the table.
The one that I wouldn't. I mean, that's part of the game.
The other one you don't like.
The other one that just prolongs the game for the sake of prolonging the game, that doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
So, but the one that's character elimination, hey, that's the way it happens, man. You only have so many respawns, right?
Changes the game considerably.
It does,
but,
yeah.
But yeah.
I get a kick though. I like it's basically, I call these hand building games. You have a hand of cards, you play the cards down, and you get to pick them up. I love that concept. I love getting new cards and into your hand. There's some really cool cards. I like that the cards hurt other players. I love that the monsters hit you and there's that exploding dice thing, so you're never quite sure. Any monster could
Right.
kill you at any time.
Yeah.
But death is not horrific, right? If you've been saving a lot of
It's pretty
blood,
horrific.
in this game,
Yeah.
if you've
Yeah,
been
it's pretty
saving a lot
bad.
of blood,
Really? You don't think it's that bad of a deal? That big a deal?
if you lose a lot of blood because you did not play your dream thing, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You
No.
could jump out anytime. Yes.
Nope.
That
Not with
is
exploding dice,
completely-
it's not.
That's completely your fault.
Nope.
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
no,
That means you saved
because
a lot,
look,
though.
if you've saved like, I don't know, that I would never do this, but if you save like 10 blood, and then you're like, should I play that dream card or should I chance it? You're an idiot.
Well, here's the
Play
thing,
the
okay?
dream card.
I like the mechanism of the hand building aspect of it, but for you to bank blood, which is going from vulnerable points to safe points, you have to skip a turn, effectively. That means if you want to be safe, once you have like 3 of those blood tokens, you need to skip a turn to bank it. And that I find to be a very weak mechanism in the game. Again, the hand building aspect of it I think is solid. I like that idea of you only have 7 cards or so to work with. Once you get another one, now you have to decide what is no longer part of your repertoire. I like that. But the fact that I need to skip a turn, or I get smacked and I lose my progress from the last 3-4 turns, is a game in which I am skipping a good fourth of my game. Right? Like every 4 turns, I need to skip one. Why?
Okay.
That's really not
Okay.
a good game.
To pick up the rest of the cards
I
that
was gonna
you've played, to
Exaggeration.
It kind of feels like I'm skipping a
on,
lot of
man.
turns and just sort
But you're
of.
not skipping it. Okay, first of
not
all, turns
skipping.
are super short.
They are.
Secondly, you're not skipping the turn. You get to pick your cards up and get a new card. That's like a turn in of itself.
and heal yourself.
Come on, that's like saying in Dominion, I skip a lot of turns by simply, or Ticket to Ride, I skip turns by drawing 2 cards. Yeah, you do, but you're building your hand up.
Well, again, it just
I
feels
never
like the
felt like I was
banking
skipping a
mechanism
turn.
felt a little. And then the other thing I did not like. Well, there's a lot of things. I'll just say it now. I did not like this game.
I do not
What?
understand this, man.
The other thing
could
I did
not
not
tell.
like is that the like I said, the hand building mechanism's good, but then the simultaneous play of
Love
the
it.
game combined with random dice rolling for the monster attacking, and the dice explode, so he could hit you anywhere between nothing and you're dead, is too swingy. The game just feels too swingy for me, too random. You know, I play a card, I think it's a good plan, I flip that card, things didn't go my way, and I'm dead instead of having a great turn. Those 2 variants are too far apart for me. I understand, like, I was hoping to get 4 points, I only got 1. Oh, okay, but not from I'm about to, save 3 points, and not only did I not get that, I also died. What? Those 2 points are too far apart. One of the games I played, the winning score was about 32, something like that. And on the final turn of the game, there are many turns in this game, many card plays, I scored 9 points. 1 card. That is a third, basically, of the winning score.
Well, did you play? Was it card played at the right time?
Yes.
It was random. I play. Of course, I'm hoping I'm doing that every time I play a card. But the circumstances lined up to go, here you go, 9 points. That's too random.
See, first of all, I don't care that the game has a lot of randomness in it because it's
30
30 minutes, right? And but it's so much fun. It's fun to outguess everybody else because I know the cards that the other players have. You learn the cards the other players have pretty quickly. I know Sam has the cannon and he's going to hit everyone for damage. So this turn, I'm going to be. So
what are you going to do? What are you going to do to deal with that?
Well, there's multiple ways. I can play my card down that says the transform card. I'm going to wait and see what card he plays before I do something.
Okay.
I might
play
do the Dream. Hunter's Dream this turn.
Half damage so that the cannon doesn't even affect
I play a Hunter's Dream almost always when I play Hunter's Dream very first turn. Just to get a new card in my hand.
I don't like that.
Okay, well, no, that's just how I play. But I don't mind. And you said that you can go anywhere from death to a couple points of hits. That's true. But usually it's just a couple points. It's not like every other turn. The exploding dice happen once in a while.
No.
Most of the dice have the exploding thing on one side.
That's true.
It's a random die roll.
I know it's a random die roll, but let's say the exploding thing's on one side. You roll, you have a 1/6 chance of getting it. You roll to get it a second time, you have a 1/6 chance of getting it. Now, I love that.
Well, it's
because
higher on the worst dice, right?
It is. I think it's on 2 sides. But still, your percentages go down. The chance of you dying, sure, it can happen. In fact, when I did showing how this game worked, it happened. All right? That doesn't prove your point. Yeah, but I played the game a lot more than you, and the monster killing everybody on one turn has happened maybe twice. Twice.
That's like 2 times too many, man.
Because everyone laughed about it, and we're like, all right, and we jump back in. It's fun.
All right.
For me, this game gets 2 Soul Blades up. I really enjoyed it. And that's with me really not liking the theme at all, right? I look at this guy but I don't care about any of that because it's all about playing the weapons. The monster's almost like a back thought. I'm like, okay, so Sam has that ranged weapon that if he plays it, it does damage to people who play melee weapons. I'm really good at melee weapons, but this time I'm going to throw the Molotov cocktail. Then I do that and Sam doesn't play that card. I'm like, wow, now, And I love trying to outthink other people in the game, and I really like this with its max players, 5 or 4. I find it most enjoyable that way.
Really? Because when you're later in the turn and it's a 5 or 4 players, you might as well just...
That's right, and so I like that turn order thing, and you're like, hey, now's my time, I'm going to play the Hunter's Dream.
That goes into choosing what you're going to play and not going to play out of your hand.
Yeah, but there's more people ahead of you means your choosing is even less relevant. If I choose this card, I'm likely to be in here, my results are in here, and then if there's 1 player before me, then my results are kind of in here. And then 4 players before me, my results are in here somewhere. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I
random.
think this isn't your style. So you're giving this no thumbs up?
Oh, I'm giving this 1 broken video game controller down.
Wow.
What about you?
I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up as well. I don't... this really should be right along Zee's theme, and I think he's just being a troll.
Oh, I like the theme.
Because he likes...
I actually thought you would dislike this.
I like the theme more than both of you guys.
No, I said thing, not theme. Because it's a half an hour, it's a card game, it's fast, it's quick.
Should be 5 points
it's
right there.
exactly in Zee's wheelhouse. I think how poorly he has done in the game, for the most part, and with 1 swingy turn. He didn't say that he's the one that won at the end.
I did, yeah, right. But it doesn't matter, because I won randomly. I was handed that game.
You went through awesome skill, that's what I would say.
That's the thing. That's part of the game. The planets aligned. You got, you were in the right place at the right time. That's part of the theme. I don't know. It's just not that big of a deal because at the end of the day, it is 3-0 minutes, and we can go on to another game.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's random? So I enjoyed the game. I don't necessarily. I think the theme is too dark. That's almost par for the course with Eric nowadays, but it's still a really good game, and I really do enjoy it. So it's 2 thumbs up for me as well.
Bloodborne. I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia. Thank you, folks.
Sam Healey. See you on the flip side.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.